upon it in fire. And its smoke kept ascending like the smoke of a kiln, and the whole mountain or textoi acute miritra longo, kin, kinsman 152 kin, kinsman. Relative, either by common ancestry or by marriage. Kinsman has special reference to a male relative. There are several words in the original Bible languages having the following meanings and usages. Go-middle.l from Heb. G-middle.al, meaning redeem or buy back, has reference to the nearest male relative with the right of a repurchaser or an avenger of blood. Willful murderers were to be put to death by the avenger of blood. New 35. 16-19 Boaz's relationship to Naomi and Ruth was that of a repurchaser. Ru 2. 20. 3. 9, 12, 13. 4. 1, 3, 6, 8, 14 Jehovah himself, the great Father or Lawgiver, is both an avenger and a repurchaser for his servants. PS 78. 35. Isra 41. 14. 43. 14. 44. 6, 24. 48. 17. 54. 5. 63. 16. Jah 50. 34. Sheoheb. Meaning organism has reference to a fleshly relative or blood relative. God's laws forbade having sexual relations with a close blood relation, such as one's aunt. Law 18. 6-13. 20. 19 If a fellow Israelite fell into debt to an alien, then a brother, an uncle, a cousin, or any other blood relative could buy him back. Law 25. 47-49 Or if one died having no sons, daughters, brothers, or uncles, then the next closest blood relation received the inheritance. New 27. 10, 11. Committal.rovheb. Meaning near includes not only one closely related but also an intimate acquaintance. If a brother became so poor that he had to sell his possessions, then one closely related had to buy them back for him. Law 25. 25 Job grieved that his intimate acquaintances had left him, and David lamented that his close acquaintances also stood aloof. Job 19. 14. PS 38. 11. Terms related to your middle.deheb. Meaning no, be acquainted could mean a kinsman or just an acquaintance. Naomi had a kinsman of her husband named Boaz. Jehu executed all of Ahab's house including his acquaintances. Ru 2. 1. 2 Chi 10. 11. In the Christian Greek scriptures sig-middle.nes refers to a relative by blood, but it is never used in speaking of the relation between parents and children. Following this rule, note that Jesus said to his followers, "You will be delivered up even by parents and brothers and relatives sig-middle.non and friends." Luke 21. 16 When the 12-year-old Jesus was missing, his parents began looking for him among the relatives. Luke 2. 44 When you spread a feast, Jesus counseled, do not invite your relatives who could pay you back but, rather, the poor people. Luke 14. 12-14 When Peter brought the good news of salvation to Cornelius, his relatives were also present. Act 10. 24 Paul, in his letter to the Romans, referred to the Israelites collectively as well as a number of individuals as his relatives. Row 9. 3. 16. 7, 11, 21. Kinel-Kainar. A city of southern Judah. Jos 15. 21, 22 Some identify it with Kibbutz Tayyib or Vatov, about 30 kilometers 90 mi of Beersheba. The name seems to be preserved in Wadi el-Kaini nearby. Kind. The creation record found in the first chapter of Genesis reveals that Jehovah God created Earth's living things according to their kinds. G1. 11. FTN Toward the end of the sixth creative day the Earth was supplied with a great variety of basic created kinds, which included very complex forms of life. These were endowed with the capacity for reproducing offspring according to their kinds in a fixed, orderly manner. G1. 12, 21, 22, 24, 25. 1 Co 14. 33. The biblical kind seem to constitute divisions of life forms, wherein each division allows for cross-fertility within its limits. If so, then the boundary between kinds is to be drawn at the point where fertilization ceases to occur. In recent years, the term species has been applied in such a manner as to cause confusion when it is compared with the word kind. The basic meaning of species is as sort, kind, variety. In biologic terminology, however, it applies to any group of interfertile animals or plants mutually possessing O textoi acute muritra longo. Kindness 153. This phenomenon makes possible, through the test of sterility, the determining of the boundaries of all the kinds in existence today. Through this natural test of fertilization it is possible to uncover the primary relationships within animal life and plant life. For example, sterility presents an impassable gulf between man and the animals. Breeding experiments have demonstrated that appearance is no criterion. Man and the chimpanzee may look somewhat similar, have comparable types of muscles and bones. Yet the complete inability of man to hybridize with the ape family proves that they are two separate creations and not of the same created kind. Although hybridization was once hoped to be the best means of bringing about a new kind, in every investigated case of hybridization the mates were always easily identified as being of the same kind, such as in the crossing of the horse and the donkey, both of which are members of the horse family. Except in rare instances, the mule thus produced is sterile and unable to continue the variation in a natural way. Even Charles Darwin was forced by the facts to admit the distinctness of specific forms and their not being blended together by innumerable transitional links, is a very obvious difficulty. Origin of Species, 1902, Part 2, p. 54. This still remains true. Whereas specific created kinds may number only in the hundreds, there are many more varieties of animals and plants on the earth. Modern research has indicated that hundreds of thousands of different plants are members of the same family. Similarly, in the animal kingdom, there may be many varieties of cats, all belonging to one cat family or feline kind. The same is true of men, of cattle, and of dogs, allowing for great diversity within each kind. But the fact remains that no matter how many varieties occur in each family, none of these kinds can commingle genetically. Geological research provides clear evidence that the fossils held to be among the earliest specimens of a certain creature are very similar to their descendants alive today. Cockroaches found among the supposed earliest fossil insects are virtually identical to modern ones. Fossil bridges between kinds are totally lacking. Horses, oak trees, eagles, elephants, walnuts, ferns, and so forth, all continue within the same kinds without evolving into other kinds. The testimony of the fossils is in full accord with the Bible's history of creation, which shows that Jehovah created the living things of the earth in great numbers and according to their kinds during the final creative days. Ge 1. 20-25. From the foregoing, it becomes apparent that Noah could get all the necessary animals into the ark for preservation through the flood. The Bible does not say that he had to preserve alive every variety of the animals. Rather, it states, of the flying creatures according to their kinds, and of the domestic animals according to their kinds, of all moving animals of the ground according to their kinds, 2 of each will go in thereto to preserve them alive. Ge 6. 20. 7. 14. 15. Jehovah God knew it was necessary to save only representative members of the different kinds, since they would reproduce in variety after the flood. See Ark number 1. Following the recession of the flood waters, these comparatively few basic kinds emerged from the ark and spread out over the surface of the earth, eventually producing many variations of their kinds. Although many new varieties have come into existence since the flood, the surviving kinds have remained fixed and unchanged, in harmony with the unchangeable word of Jehovah God. Isra 55. 8-11. Kindness. The quality or state of taking an active interest in the welfare of others. Friendly and helpful acts or favors. The principal word for kindness in the Christian Greek scriptures is khre::stotes. Jehovah God takes the lead and is o textoi acute muritra longo. Kindness 154 in connection with that object is realized. According to the Theological Dictionary of the Old Testament, chesed is active, social, and enduring. Said always designates not just a human attitude, but also the act that emerges from this attitude. It is an act that preserves or promotes life. It is intervention on behalf of someone suffering misfortune or distress. It is demonstration of friendship or piety. It pursues what is good and not what is evil. Edited by G. J. Butterwick and H. Ringgren, 1986, Volume 5, p. 51. Hence, Chesed is more comprehensively rendered loving-kindness, or, because of the fidelity, solidarity, and proved loyalty associated with it, an alternate translation would be loyal love. In the plural number it may be rendered loving-kindnesses, acts of loyal love, full loving-kindness, or full loyal love. PS 25. 6. FTN. ISLA 55. 3. FTN. Loving-kindness is a precious quality of Jehovah God in which he delights, and it is manifest in all his dealings with his servants. PS 36. 7. 62. 12. Mix 7. 18. Were this not the case, they would have perished long ago. Or 3. 22. Thus, Moses could plead in behalf of rebellious Israel, both on the basis of Jehovah's great name and because he is a God of loving kindness. New 14. 13-19. The scriptures show that Jehovah's loving kindness, or loyal love, is displayed in a variety of ways and under different circumstances. In acts of deliverance and preservation PS 6. 4. 119. 88, 159, as a safeguard in protection PS 40. 11. 61. 7. 143. 12, and as a factor bringing